I've spoken before about if you're going to ride a motorcycle or scooter in Vietnam, I highly recommend that you are already an experienced rider and that you've ridden at least somewhere in Asia before. In my case, I rode in the Philippines. Driving in Vietnam or in the Philippines, pretty much Asia, really, in general. It's a far more what I call organic movement of traffic. It really has nothing to do with the lights or much of that at all. And if you've seen my other videos, it's everything from they will drive on the sidewalks, they'll drive counter to the traffic between you and the sidewalk. They will, if they're on your left side, they'll think nothing of just driving in front of you to make a right hand turn or vice versa. I mean, everything you can imagine. Now, the only thing kind of good is that the speeds are not that high. So the few times, I think only twice now in 2 months now that I've been here, I've seen somebody wipe out. They just kind of dropped their bike and, they were okay, and most of the traffic, fortunately, is motorcycles. So it's not like you drop your bike and then you got to worry about a big sugarcane truck behind you. It's mostly going to be other motorcyclists. They can either dodge, stop, or even if they do hit you, it beats getting hit by a sugarcane truck. So that's my I want to start off with just kind of a warning. If you are going to shop and buy and ride a motorcycle or scooter in Vietnam, be experienced, know what you're doing, because even for experienced drivers, it can be a little hectic. Everybody's kind of like really in your personal space on the bike. Handlebars all the time are passing like with 1 inch clearance. Lots of crisscrossing people over you. So you really want to be able to just stay calm, watch the flow of traffic, and I'll probably do some like, point of view, head cam, helmet cam footage and explain, more in detail later about how to drive here. Today, what I want to do is share with you different resources that I found while looking for my scooter, which I've bought two of them now. As I mentioned in my other one, the first one got stolen within 10 days. So I wanted to share with you some of the resources that I've found for buying a motorcycle or scooter here in Vietnam. And then I'll share with you a little bit of video of me actually being out looking for the bike that I have now. And then, of course, I'll superimpose the price that I paid and all that kind of stuff. Now, as far as resources, and I will put links to all of this in the top of the comments section. So if you don't get them off the screen, then don't worry. They're in the comments section. You can get them there. There'll be links. The first one I want to share with you is a really good resource, and it's called Hanoi Massive, and it's on Facebook. Now, with Hanoi Massive, you can find everything from motorcycles to apartments. You can get a lot of information about restaurants and everything, but they are a big resource for motorcycles and scooters. There will be ones that are being sold by expats who they're getting ready to leave the country. There's ones from dealers. There's ones being sold from locals. Now, the first thing you'll need to know about buying a motorcycle here is that it's not your typical registration process. In the US or the Philippines, you buy a motorcycle, you go down to the DMV or the LTO, and then you register it. You're the new buyer, you're familiar with the whole routine. Now, here in Vietnam, it's actually much simpler and really just not a hassle at all. And we're going to be talking mostly about buying used bikes. Used bikes. If you want to get a new bike from the dealer, it's going to actually be a bit of hassle because there will be some issues with registering it in your name if you're an expat. I didn't even delve into that much because it was such a hairball. But so by and large, what we're talking about here is buying used bikes. And a bike could be used for maybe only 6 months. It's essentially a brand new bike, but it has a previous owner. And that's what we're looking at here. So when you buy a used bike here in Vietnam, what you do is you meet with the seller, you test drive it, whatever, you make your decision, you want to buy the bike. And you agree on a price, And here's what happens. The bike, this guy that you're buying it from may be the guy who registered it originally, or he may be the second, third, fourth owner of the bike. Every time that the bike is sold, the possessive owner, who is not the registered owner necessarily, the registered owner is the guy who's on the registration who first bought the bike. That's the registered owner. The possessive owner is the guy that you're now talking to. Let's say he's the third, second owner of the bike, and he physically possesses a laminated, actually I don't even think it's laminated, it's just inside of a sleeve, a plastic sleeve, which is pretty standard. And it's what's called the blue card. Now the blue card is, I'll maybe put a picture of one up here. The blue card is the registration, but it's registered in the name of the original registered owner, the first guy who bought the bike. So it'll be like, who knows, some name that you never heard of and nobody knows. But it's pretty much possession of the blue card and the bike makes it your bike. So you do not want to have that blue card physically on your bike. What you want to do is make a copy of it, and you can laminate that and then put that in your bike or in your wallet. And if you're ever asked for it from the police, you get pulled over or whatever, or you're going to sell it. Actually, the copy you can only use for showing it to the police. Then you can show them, hey, yeah, I have the blue card for this bike. Now, it's only when you transfer and sell the bike that the original blue card has to be held by the seller. So you meet with the guy, you like the bike, you want to buy it, and you sit down and you count out the money, and then he will give you two things. One will be a written receipt for the money that you're giving him for the bike, showing the license plate number, the make, the model. And then the second thing you'll be getting is the blue card. So once you have those two things, the receipt for your money and the blue card, the keys and the motorcycle, it's your bike. That's it. You don't need to go down to the DMV, the LTO, the Vietnamese auto registration or whatever. You don't need to do that. You have the bike, you have the blue card, it's your bike. So what you do is, what I did was I took a picture, a good digital picture with my phone, of the front and the back side of the blue card, and I have that saved on my phone in a subdirectory that never gets deleted. The actual blue card is tucked away in my lock tote bag with all my other important documents and cards and whatever, and it's safe, so that if you ever asked for it, you can show the copy on your phone or the paper copy that you made. And if it escalates and they really want to see the actual card, well, then you go back to your apartment and you say, yeah, see, I got it, So that's it. The process is very simple, very straightforward. So when you sell the bike later, you're going to surrender the blue card along with the keys and the motorcycle, and then you're done. People had asked about my previous bike and said, oh, well, since it got stolen, aren't you worried about the liability? What if the guy owning the second, or stole the bike, goes ahead and causes some property damage or whatever? There's nothing connecting me to the bike. My name was never registered. The original registered owner is the only guy on the blue card. So there is no record of transfer of ownership like there is in other countries. So whoever stole the bike, if they end up, driving into a plate glass window or something, first thing they're gonna do is ask him for the blue card, which he doesn't have, because it's a stolen bike, and then they will impound the bike and whatever. It just goes on from there. But contacting me or holding me liable or anything like that, there's no paper trail between me and that bike. So that's essentially how it's handled. Now, getting back to Hanoi Massive, that is one of the really great resources. Another resource you want to check out is Tigit, Tigit, Tigit. And they've got a whole database of motorcycles that you can check out. If you want to sell your bike, you can put it on there. It's basically like an eBay type, buy and sell website. Another one you want to check out is Viet Motorbikes, and you should see it on the screen now. Again, same basic thing. If you want to buy or sell your motorcycle, Another one is, let's see, Motorbikes Hanoi. Motorbikes Hanoi. Again, another website where you can get some information about bikes and all that. And then there's another one, Stevie's Garage. Stevie's Garage is kind of like, if you really want to deal with expats and everything's in English, which again is a big deal. And I'll get to buying a motorcycle from a local here in a minute. If you really want to just avoid, all the other, language issues, then I would suggest, you check out Stevie's Garage. I believe Tigget also has a lot of American-speaking guys. The way to buy a bike, if, say, for instance, you're going to be buying it from a guy who's selling it and they only speak Vietnamese, in the idyllic sense, you would just take out your Google Translate and everything's going to work out. I'm sure it could, but it's going to be a lot of hassle. There might be some miscommunications. Google Translate is really not like just a turnkey solution to everything. It helps. It's better than nothing, but it is a bit slow, cumbersome. Sometimes it translates in really bizarre ways. If there's a lot of background noise or whatever, so anyway, so to avoid that, you can do what I did. I just happened to get a referral, and I'll give you the guy's name. I'll give you his Facebook. I call him Manny, but anyways, his name's Mon, and really good guy. And we spent the day together. He handled, and I've got some video. We went to different bike shops all around here in Saigon, and he handled the communication with the seller. And I actually hung out by the curb, and he went in and discuss the price and everything, and then together we would check out the bike after he had gotten a committed price from the seller. Otherwise, it's like, oh, yeah, here's the Kano guy. Let's jack up the price. So he would get a committed price from the seller. Then he would wave me in, and we would check out different bikes. And we went, I think, to about 8 or 10 different locations. Pretty much spent about 5 hours just wandering all over town checking out bikes. So it's really great. I paid him some money for his day. Again, it was about, I think it was about $20 for the whole day for him to just drive around with me and show me where to find, a good bike. So if you're in Saigon and you want a local who's a good guy, who knows about bikes, he's really a bike aficionado. He knows what a good bike sounds like. He knows what to look for, and he knows all the different places. And a lot of these guys he kind of knows personally, not all of them, but some of them. He can also recommend a good mechanic. For me, it was a great help to have him go with me and show me around. And again, you'll get to see that here in the video. Now, the first bike that I bought was over at Bui Vien. Here in Saigon. That's another option for buying a bike. When I first got here, I'd only been here maybe a week or so, and I just wanted to go out and buy a bike. I didn't really care. It was like I just wanted an inexpensive bike to get me around. I wasn't looking for anything fancy. I just wanted something old and reliable. So went down to Bui Vien, and Bui Vien is like the walking street. It's where all the backpackers hang out. It's constant influx of expats in and out. And so there's always a motorcycle for sale. So you just walk down the street. That's what we did. Me and my buddy, a different buddy, Jason, we walked up and down the street and we just looked at the places that rent motorcycles, and then just popped in and said, hey, I know you rent motorcycles. You got any for sale? And they always had some for sale. So, because again, they're just constantly changing their inventory. They're constantly getting approached by backpackers who are like, hey, I bought this bike. I'm leaving. Will you buy it? So the hit and miss there with buying a bike at Bui Vien is that you're buying as is. So if you don't know what to look and listen for in a motorbike, bring along a buddy who does. Because once you buy it, it's yours. There's no returns, no refunds, no warranty. It's your bike. So, and you may have to fix it up. Now, here's the great thing. If you do get something of a clunker that, it's kind of like revving like a dog and whatever, well, you can buy that bike for about $225 if it's a beater. And then you can take it to any motorcycle shop and you can have a tune-up done. You can have new spark plugs put in, change the crankcase oil, change the tires, put in new brakes. And you probably won't even spend $75 on all of that. You know, new headlights, everything. I mean, you can totally overhaul and tune up a motorbike for less than 75 bucks. I did, for what was needed on my second bike. I had a new tire, new brakes, new spark plug, new oil, crankcase, mirrors, new grips, and altogether it was like less than 30 bucks. So that's one thing you can do if you don't mind taking a little bit of time. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over. I'll share with you my day. The video is a little bit shaky because I didn't really plan on shooting a video that day, so I ended up shooting it just with my my cam phone. So apologize for the shakiness. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a look at that, and then you can kind of just see how the day went. Then I'll show you the bike that I finally did get, my second bike, and I'll put the price and everything on there. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to that now.
Well, I'm out here at a pawn shop. I'll have to maybe look at it on a map, but basically I'm pretty far out from where I usually am. I'm about 45 minutes away from where I live. And they've got, it's a pawn shop, so they have a little bit of everything. Here's one, here a Yamaha. They got, this one's pretty popular here. What is that called? Yeah, the Airblade. Airblade's pretty popular. Anyway, so the goal today is to find a scooter that is fully automatic. I don't know, I'm looking somewhere between $300 to $500 US dollars, which will come out somewhere around maybe 8 to 10 million film. So gonna look around and see what we find. I may spend the whole day looking. Now, I met this guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. And so I'm going around with this guy, Matt. He just left a little bit ago. And we're going to go, he's going to show me around to the different pawn shops, used bike places, all that. And essentially, he speaks pretty good English, so he's going to translate and just help me find a bike, and then I'll pay him, you know, at the end of the day. So that's the plan, so we'll see what happens. Okay, well, we've checked out about 6 or 7 places, and the routine is I'll hang out here at the bike, and then he goes in to ask the parameters that I'm looking for, how much I want to spend, and he gets, you know, some prices based on, you know, not having the rich American hanging around. And then I go look at whatever seems to be a good buy. Now, the street here has, we've been to about 7 places, but I've seen probably 20 places. This is him here, Nam. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we've checked a couple of places. It's about 2 o'clock, so we've been looking for about maybe 3 hours or so. We found one here that looks promising, and there he is, this man. He's gonna test drive it for me. Out of all the bikes I've looked at, which I think I've looked at about, I don't know, geez, 20, 25 bikes. I like this one the best, and they're willing to work on the price a little bit. So first he's going to test drive it for me, and as you can see, they've got a bunch more bikes here. So they're going to test drive it. If everything looks okay, odometer moves forward, lights work, and all that kind of stuff, then I think I may very well just go with this one. Now this one's selling for $9.5 million, which is, well, I'll put that on the screen, get the exact change here. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, I was thinking of getting that one, the white one, but when we took it for a test drive, which I'm glad we did, it blew a bunch of smoke, so that one's done. I'm not going to get that one. Now we're looking at another one over here. This one, the gold one. Now the deal is, it was listed online for 8.5. Now suddenly he wants 9.5. So we're okay.
Finally, he won for 9.3 last price. He fits everything, no mirrors, only one mirrors.
Okay.
They fit the kilometer.
Yeah, I can do that, no problem.
So final price is 9.3.
Okay. Yeah, we can do 9.3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we take it.
Okay, so I'm going to go with this one here for 9.3 million. Again, so I'll put the conversion on that. Now the thing is, I want this one over here. I had considered for the same price, but the headlights don't work, and there were some issues back here. Okay, I've already paid for the bike, gotten the paperwork and everything, so now it's my bike. Part of the purchase price was that they're gonna fix a few items. They're gonna check the brakes on the rear brake, which I noticed was spongy. They're gonna check the odometer, make sure that it's, you know, reading correctly. Just some little odds and ends. So that's included with the purchase of the bike. That we worked out with the seller. So here's the bike. And the mechanic's going to go ahead and just check it out, take care of it. Anyway, so that's pretty much the process as far as buying it from a local dealer here. So I'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye.